Hey everyone, I wanted to do an update on the trip. It's only a couple of days before I leave for good old Washington, D.C. And I'm going to be driving up there, like I've said before, because it's been hard for me to figure out flights and everything else. And I figured that the prices of the flights and everything else, and it's going to be crazy. And, I'd just rather bring up my car, you know. Especially since I'm going to be up there for a week anyway. So, I figured why don't I just drive up there? It'll help me get away from my home here in Orlando. Yeah, I love it, but at the same time, I'm excited to be on the road and excited to be going to the forum and talking with our members of Congress, Richie Neal, Maxwell Frost, and a few others, I think. I'm going to be staying on the House side of Congress when we do meet with the members of Congress because the thing is, I have my scooter with me and um, it's not working that well per se. So, and I just don't want to have to go for security and all that. It's like you have to go for security to go for the Senate, then you have to go to security to go for the House, and it's like I don't know what to do. So, but anyways, yeah, I leave Friday morning. I'm gonna make it up to Raleigh, North Carolina, spend Friday night in Raleigh, and then head up to DC on Saturday from there. And I'm gonna figure out the drive because I might want to stay in the same place in Raleigh on the way back if everything goes well. That is, but I don't know as of yet. Yeah, I was gonna stay with my cousins in Columbia, South Carolina, but unfortunately those plans had to change. So you know, yeah, I'm gonna get the oil change done on the car tomorrow, Wednesday. And the air conditioner is not working in the car. I tried buying some stuff, but I don't know if that's the case or whatever. I may need to get a new filter. I may need to raise a little bit more money on here to make sure I make it up to Washington. I know that we raised over 800 on here, and then the cash that I got from the candy canes, but if anybody wants to make a donation, please feel free to do so. I know we're over the goal, but we can expand. That way, too, I can make it up to Washington and back safely, and I can stay cool because it's going to be hot going up there. But we'll have to wait and see on that. I was going to wait until Saturday to get the oil change done in Raleigh, but I'm getting real close to or I need to have the oil changed, and I figure why don't I just do it while I'm down here before I leave to go up there on Friday, you know? But I cannot wait to see everyone at the forum. Allie and Kelly and all of them are really happy to see me once again. I'm one of their champions, so I have to go, you know. Yeah, I know. I feel happy and sad at the same time. It's like, yeah, I know I have to go because obviously, we need to make life better for people with disabilities across this country, especially with what happened in Washington last week. And with the president signing that act, I don't know, or that bill, I don't know how it's going to affect us with people with disabilities. And I need to go up there to let them know that we need to make sure that we can have the funding available for people with disabilities to make sure they can live a life that they can live with. Because it's like if the thing is, it's going to drive people nuts. The bill that got signed and passed into law on the 4th of July, and I don't know if anyone knows the details of it, but it's gonna hurt people with disabilities. Trust me. And that's one of the reasons why I need to be up there in Washington to help advocate for people with disabilities. And I don't know if you noticed, but my mouth, I'm going to need to have dental work at some point. And without insurance, and well, I have insurance, but I mean, the price with insurance is $4,000 out of pocket. That's out of pocket. That's the price I have to pay, you know, unless I get help. Because if I don't get my mouth fixed, there might be a chance I might not be living much longer. And I'm sorry for crying, but you know, it it's really affecting me. It's really affecting my smile. I'm gonna bring that. I think I'm gonna bring the paperwork up with me to Washington, and I'm gonna show them this is the price that they cannot cover. This is the price that insurance will not cover, and I need help to get it done. I don't really talk about my mouth, but at the same time, I really need to get it done. And then the living arrangement here, it's like the rent's going up. Well, we don't know when the rent's going up, but there's a good chance it might be. And yet our services and benefits are either staying the same or going down, and that's not good either. We need to make sure that we make it and make a difference. You know, it's just hard to express those things that we need to have done. I'm trying my best to do that. I have my podcast, and I'm trying to let people know that way, you know? But I mean, two of the people that really helped me, um, thanks to Tiana, who is the owner and CEO of Sunshine Medical Supplies, and then Master G, who runs the ACETSS program. You know, I'm really thankful for them too, because if it wasn't for them, I don't know how I would make it all the way up there and to secure the funding so I could go. Well, everybody else, I think, too. And because of those two people, I'm going to do um, Autism Spotlight on both of them during the episodes when I go to DC. So I will have them in a spotlight and talk about their company because I feel important that we talk about them and we thank them for their support. And I thank everyone else too. It's just, you know, so, you know, I'm not only fighting for myself, I'm fighting for the future of people with disabilities because it's like, you know, I've said it before autism doesn't stop when you're 18 or 21. Autism is a lifelong condition. And me going up there to bring awareness for people with disabilities, including autism, it's like, you know, I was diagnosed after that 21 age. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to have the adult services that they offer, and they don't offer that much, you know. So I want to make a change in DC. It's just, I don't know. I hope to make a change. I hope to make a difference. And I'm definitely going to bring up that paperwork with me for the dental because it's like we need we need help with that, you know? And then, it's just, you know, some people may think I'm not disabled. I am disabled. I have conditions that, you know, need to be addressed. It's hard for me to deal with normal life, you know? And that's why I have the conditions I have and why I need the services I need. And, if they raise the rent here and all that, it's like, and then we can only save so much for our benefits. They only limit us to save a less amount because what we do if the car decides not to work, or what do we do if we can't afford it? It's like, I have to have my car for work as an Uber Eats driver. It's very important. I know I'm taking it up to Washington with me, but at the same time, it's just, you know, and I know I registered with being a constituent in Massachusetts when I registered, but I did that because I didn't know if I was going to be still living here or not. I was having problems with the people, with the landlords. I'm not going to get into it, but I was having problems, and I didn't know if I was going to be still here or if I was going to have to move up to my parents' house in Mass. So, you know, that's why I was like, I didn't know what was going on, and I'd rather be safe than sorry and be registered as a constituent of Massachusetts. Though I am still a constituent here in Florida. So that's why when I do the thing, I have both Massachusetts and Florida on my badge for the forum, the ribbons, both of them, because of the fact that I I grew up in Mass. I live in Florida now, so it's like both the states are there, and I still deal with the people in Massachusetts. I go up there once a year for the RV show and to see my family and friends, you know. But yeah, I know I'm not going to make it all the way up there this time, but I know that I almost considered going up there for a couple of weeks to spend 4th of July with them, but things didn't turn out the way that was expected to be, so that's okay too. And I think the trip up to Washington's going to be fine, and the trip back. I don't know how I'm going to get back yet, which way I want to go. There's part of me that wants to go towards the mountains area for Virginia, Tennessee, that way. And then there's part of me that wants to go to the coastline where the Outer Banks is, Myrtle Beach, Charleston. But we'll have to wait and see on that, you know. But yeah, it's just where I can find a good place to stay, affordable, and all that. But yes, folks, if you still want to make a donation, you can go ahead and do that because I'm still accepting donations. I may need the donations. You never know with the expenses in this world. So even though we reached our goal on the GoFundMe, still make the donation because here's the thing. You never know what's going to happen between here and DC or DC and back. And you have to consider I still need to eat and drink and get gasoline for the car, and get the Metro pass. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing the Metro since I'm going to be staying a half mile from the Metro station, very close to the Metro station where I'm going to be staying. So, you know, though I'm thinking about bringing my car into the city on Monday and Tuesday because I have an Afghan that my mom made back in 2018 that I got for Christmas, and it's a puzzle piece Afghan. I'm going to share you the photo of it on the GoFundMe page. I'm not going to share it with you right now. I want to make sure to get it washed and presentable because, you know, the Afghan's like 6 or 7 years old, and I'm like, I need to bring it. I need to share it, show people it. because you never know when Afghans are not going to be there anymore. Homemade Afghans, that is. Homemade Afghan blankets, that is. I'm just trying to say. Because the fact is, as years go by and the use of them, um, they the wear and tear of them, and it's hard to repair them. And I don't want the same fate to happen to that. So I'm going to bring it so that people can have photos with it, and then after that, bring it back here and let it rest permanently. Yeah, I just want to use it as a decoration. I don't want to use it as like a one that I go to sleep with each night. It's just hard. Yeah, I'd rather have it for decoration, you know. Um, yeah, so if you guys have any suggestions for me, just let me know. I'm also planning on trying to have some of the forum attendees be on my podcast so that we can I can share with you some of their stories too, and that'll be a podcast episode. I don't know if it's going to be one of the Mike's Mission podcast show episodes or it's going to be a bonus episode. I haven't decided yet. And speaking of that, I'm going to have an episode dedicated to Washington, D.C. coming out before I leave. And then I'm also going to have another episode coming out. 2 episodes, yeah, I know. And then when we do our normal road trip episode and forum episodes, I think I'm going to do 2 or 3 episodes. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe the July 11, 12, and 13 will be on one episode of the podcast. Then forum on the 14th, 15th, and 16th will be on the second one, and then 17th through the 19th or 20th or 21st, I don't know, will be on the last one, so that we can spread it out. And I'm sorry that I keep going on here and on here, but it's just I want to tell you guys what's going on. I wanted to update you guys to make things okay and everything else. So I hope that you guys are enjoying my entertainment that I'm providing you or my work that I'm providing you. Oh, and I also registered to go to the National Education Summit that is hosted by the Smithsonian. So I'm going to go there on Wednesday after the forum is over. Hopefully, I can go and network with them as well. And then I think they have some of the sessions at the Smithsonian Museums on Thursday. And I'm going to go, and I think I'm already registered to go to some of the museums. I'm on the wait list for most of their sessions that they have because of the fact that they were filled up already. What they do for that summit is Tuesday it's all online, Wednesday it's hybrid of both, and then they have a meet and greet um, dinner on Wednesday, I think. So I'm gonna meet up with some of them, and then Thursday is when they go out to all the museums and whatever. So and I registered because I have autism, but yet I want to spread the history of this country with everyone and learn something new. Learn how I can improve my podcast. Maybe make it educational. Maybe do an educational series of podcasts so that people can know what's going on in this world, especially with history of the United States, you know. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Uh, but yeah, I hope you will continue following my journey even after my trip ends because I really want to share with you the life that I live, trying to do Mike's mission, trying to do Uber Eats in all 50 states. I have done 38 states plus Washington, D.C. Yeah, I'm going to be doing more deliveries in the Washington, D.C. area when I'm up there. Yep. planning to during the evening time. I'm planning on working a bit, you know. I think Monday when I drive into the city, I've asked them for a parking space, and after the forum's over on Monday, I'm going to go straight to work. I'm not going to go out to eat with all of them. I feel bad about that, but at the same time, I need to make my money so I can try to get back down here again. So, you know, it's just things work out that way. You know? I'm going to try to update you guys as much as I can while I'm on the road. You can follow me on my Facebook or go on Mike's Mission Facebook page, go on Mike's Mission Facebook group, follow along on those channels there, and then of course I'm going to try to post on GoFundMe too so that you guys can learn more about what's going on in my life in this world and how I'm going to try and make a difference, you know, so, because I know together we can make a difference. And, you know, so thank you so much for your support of me getting up to Washington. And like I said before, even though we reached the goal and exceeded that, you know, I'm still accepting donations because you never know of the expenses that I may have to deal with when we go up there. So, you know, so please make sure to ask a friend or a family member or whoever, or if you know a business that can help, that'd be great too. Maybe even help me get a hotel room or two on the way back. That'd be helpful too. If you know anyone that works in the hotel industry, that'd be great. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll keep in touch while I'm on the road. I'll keep you guys updated. And hopefully you guys go on to my linktree.com/Mike Demaro and go on there, check out all the stories and all that, and then also go on to Spotify where my podcast is. And you can listen to the Sunshine Medical Supplies segment on there, and then you can also listen to the ACETSS segment that I did as well. All right, we'll talk to you guys all later. Thank you.